All right, I'm going to
George.
call the, I'm going to
George,
call,
you're not muted.
I'm going to call the Justice Committee to order. Our first item on the agenda is approval of the minutes. Can I have a motion to approve the minutes? I got a motion by Member Chung. Logan, if you want to do it, I'll have to look over at you. You okay? Okay. And I got a second by Member Smith. Any additions or corrections or comments about the minutes? All right, seeing none, let's go ahead and have a vote, and the chairman will be voting.
Member Schaefer,
Yes.
Member Chung,
Yes.
Member Smith, Member Beer. Did I miss her? Did she say yes?
Member Beer, will you please repeat your answer? Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. Member Martin,
Yes.
Member Wendt, Member Wendt,
Yes.
Chairman Erickson.
Yes. All right, the next item on the agenda is appearance by members of the public. County Administrator Rodriguez, do we have any appearances?
We do not, Chairman Erickson. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Next item on the agenda is item 4A, Don Knapp. There's no items for action, but he does have a report. State's Attorney Knapp, would you like to address it? Is he on there? I can't see him.
Our standard report, I'm happy to answer any questions.
Does anybody have any questions of our state's attorney? All right, seeing none, thank you. Thank you, Don. Next item on the agenda is item 4B, 1A, request approval of modification of contract with Kevin Crutcher. Can I have a motion to approve? I have a motion by Member Schaefer, a second by Member Wendt. Mr. Crutcher, would you like to address? Donovan, I'm sorry. I can't get the names right.
That's fine, Chairman. Thank you.
I apologize.
We've noticed that the spending rate on our R&R contract with our clinician, Kevin Crutcher, was higher than we anticipated going forward this year due to a number of things, but mainly due to more in-house referrals from COVID-related situations, and then the length of time that the kids were staying in services with him had expanded. So we were asking to raise the contract amount. And as noticed in here, it is a budget neutral raise because the money is already there in another line that, in the same line that we use to pay this contract out of.
Do any of the members have questions of Mr. Donovan? Member Schaefer.
Even though this is budget neutral, is this something that we could maybe get reimbursed for with COVID expenses?
I'm not sure. That's kind of a good question. I'm really not sure how, I guess it's something I could ask further about, but.
If I may, Chairman Erickson, I am wondering what source Member Schaefer is referring to relative to COVID expenses. Because any of the previously apportioned amounts in cures especially has all been expended and expired.
Okay, no, I didn't know if there was anything left on any of that kind of thing, and that's why I was kind of asking that kind of question.
Where am I at here? Do any of the other members have any questions? No? All right, let's go ahead and take a vote, and the chairman will be voting.
Member Schaefer,
Yes.
Member Chung,
Yes.
Member Smith, Member Beer,
Yes.
Member Martin,
Yes.
Member Went,
Yes.
Chairman Erickson.
Yes. All right, next item on the agenda is item 4B2. It's the report of the Director of Court Services, Mr. Donovan. Do you have anything you'd like to say about the report?
Yes, sir. I would just like to add that you'll be seeing some changes going forward because I'm starting to look at categories and numbers a little differently in-house, so they'll be reflected on this report. We have we saw a marked increase in our emerging adult caseload because we've expanded our case numbers we were going from 18 to 21-year-old, now we're going 18 to 25-year-olds. And we've repositioned an officer into there, so we have 3 officers supervising that caseload. It's a pretty big initiative right now with our program and kind of across the state. So
Any questions? Any of the members? All right, thank you, Mr. Donovan.
thanks, sir.
Next item on the agenda is item 4C. We have no item for action, but we have monthly and quarterly reports. Mr. Everhart, are you on there?
I am, sir.
Okay. Is there anything you'd like to add about those reports?
It's just our standard report. There's nothing unusual.
Does any of the members have any questions of our circuit clerk? All right, seeing none. Thank you, Don.
Thank you. Have a good evening.
Next item on the agenda is item 4D, our Public Defender Ron Lewis. We have no items for action, but we do have reports. Mr. Lewis, would you like to address your reports?
Thank you, Chairman. The caseload report is pretty standard and nothing unusual to report there. Our position reclassification item is documented with memorandum. It's a matter that we started when Ms. Barnes was still public defender and Mr. McEldowney was interim, and I'm kind of finishing up on it. So that's where we're at right now. Thank you.
Do any of the members have questions of our public defender? All right, seeing none, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Lewis.
Thank you.
Next item on the agenda is item 4E. This is Molly Evans, Director, Children's Advocacy Center. There's no item for action. We do have a report. Ms. Evans, would you like to address your report?
I really don't have anything to add, but happy to answer any questions you might have.
Do any of the members have any questions of Ms. Evans? All right, I don't see any. Thank you, Ms. Evans.
Thank you. Have a good evening.
Next item on the agenda is item 4F, John Sandage, McLean County Sheriff. He was unable to make it today, but he does ask if any members have any questions to feel free to email him with your questions. So he's not here today. So you can go ahead and email him with questions. Next item on the agenda is item 4G. You know, it gets weird getting used to speaking on this thing again, you know, it just is. I mean,
Yes,
like
it is, sir. Yes.
You're used to speaking on your computer, sorry. Next item on the agenda is item 4G, Kathy Yoder, McLean County Coroner. Our county coroner is unable to make it due to a scheduling conflict. She sends her regrets. If you have any questions, I'm sure you can pass them along through Camille, or you can get those directly to her. All right, the next item on our agenda is item 4H, Will Scanlon, Circuit Clerk. Item 41A, Request approval of an intergovernmental agreement with Ford County and McLean County Court Services. And can I have a motion to approve? Have a motion by member Martin, a second by member Chung. Mr. Scanlon, would you like to address this?
Got to unmute. You're right. It's a lot easier when you're sitting in front of a microphone instead of your computer. Yes, as some of you know, the Ford County Court Services in Paxton has been without a director for approximately 6 months. The circuit has been undergoing a diligent search to find a director. We have a potential candidate to become director, but that person does not have sufficient supervision skills or supervision experience to be the director at this point. Suzanne Montoya was then appointed acting director for the interim period while that candidate serves as her chief deputy or second in command, however you'd want to term that. So she will get sufficient supervisory experience. So during that term, Ford County, this intergovernmental agreement is to have Ford County reimburse McLean County for any additional expenses incurred during that term. Suzanne is acting director. Suzanne will remain assistant director of McLean County Court Services of the Juvenile Division. She remains an employee of McLean County. We are just loaning some time to Ford County, as it were, and they are reimbursing us for any extra expenses. That's the purpose of the intergovernmental agreement. The term is fixed to be 12 months or less, depending on how well the second in command does and is evaluated after 6 or 9 months. So, but no more than 12 months, ending March 31st, 2022. The intergovernmental agreement has been reviewed by the Civil Division.
Do any members of this committee have any questions of Mr. Scanlon? All right, seeing none, let's go ahead and vote, and the chairman will vote.
Member Schaefer,
Yes.
Member Chung,
Yes.
Member Smith, Member Beer,
Yes.
Member Martin,
Yes.
Member Went,
Yes.
Chairman Erickson.
Yes. All right, item 4H, there's no other items to be presented for information. Thank you, Mr. Scanlon.
Thank you.
Next item on the agenda is item 4I, County Administrator Rodriguez. There's no items for action. Is there any information you'd like to present to the board?
No, there is not.
Okay, thank you. Next item on the agenda is item 5, Other Business and Communication. Do any members have anything? There is something I want to say, so I'm going to go ahead and say it here if I find my notes here. All right, on February 22nd, 2021, I received an email from the McLean County Sheriff, John Sandage, supporting qualified immunity with an attached ordinance guaranteeing qualified immunity to employees of the Jefferson County Sheriff's Office for Jefferson County, Illinois. I asked the sheriff if he had any issue with me presenting such an ordinance to the Justice Committee. I was advised that he did not. After discussion with the McLean County State's Attorney's Office, the ordinance was modified to make it only an advisory resolution to be offered to the Illinois General Assembly. I then presented the resolution to the Justice Committee in March of 2021. Many questions were raised about the resolution, and several members, a bipartisan request was made to me that many members had questions about the resolution, and these members would like to get their questions answered before voting. I asked Chris Spanos of the McLean County State's Attorney's Office to address and answer those questions at the Justice Committee meeting in April, which he did. I want to be clear what is qualified immunity and what is not. It is not a defense in Illinois in a criminal proceeding filed against a law enforcement officer. It is a defense with exceptions to a civil tort case filed against a law enforcement officer in Illinois. Thus, if a law enforcement officer were charged with murder or manslaughter in an Illinois court, qualified immunity would not be a defense. Thus, if Derek Chauvin had been charged with murder or manslaughter in an Illinois court, he could not have used qualified immunity as a defense. Finally, as for qualified immunity being an absolute defense in an Illinois civil tort proceeding, it isn't. This is clear from reading the Local Governmental and Government Employees Tort Immunity Act. I still support qualified immunity for law enforcement officers. Recently, I had a conversation with a retired college professor who I don't believe is of my same political party. This college professor said to me that Bloomington did not have the problems that other communities faced because it does not try to make every national and state issue, does not take every national and state issue and make it a local one. Part of me agrees with that sentiment. Not every issue going on in Springfield, Washington, D.C., or nationally necessarily has to be addressed at a county board meeting or committee meeting. Ultimately, especially on an 11-9 board, every vote is critical and you have to get along with your colleagues regardless of what you think of them. On the other hand, maintaining, training, and providing an adequate police force is an issue that I think resonates with the city, with the residents of the city of Bloomington, if not all McLean County. The last City of Bloomington municipal election confirms this. This community supports our police. In any event, for the time being, I have decided to let Springfield and Washington, D.C. sort out the issue of qualified immunity. Thank you. Does any other member have any business or communications to come before the Justice Committee? All right. Seeing none, I've got bills here from our county auditor. I have a letter from her stating that she has reviewed the bills and that they comply with all McLean County codes and policies. And can I get a motion to approve the bills? I have a motion by member Martin. Can I get a second? I got a second by member Smith. Any questions or comments about the bills? All right, seeing none, we'll go ahead and vote and the chairman will vote.
Member Schaefer,
Yes.
Member Chung,
Yes.
Member Smith, Member Beer,
Yes.
Member Martin,
Yes.
Member Went,
Yes.
Chairman Erickson.
Yes. All right, so that passes. All right, we have no other items on the agenda. We are adjourned. Thank you, everybody.